she loves that.
That's good. That's good. So she's going to talk to you. She's going to talk to the senator and the representative, the VP, the president, the vice president. But I need some business. I really want to go to Short to talk to some business, and I didn't really want to business with Muse forums. Oh, I could have gave her. No, that would have been too long.
You should have
We
gave
just
us.
don't have enough businesses.
You should have gave us that.
Oh, they did. We gave them that. Yeah, yeah. We did that.
Because that collection and everything.
Right. Well, the new guy, he's the one who works. He's the only one responsible. Well, like, kind of hectic, huh? No, the new. No, change. They got a new guy in there who's working with them. So you didn't even make that. Hell's not coming. sit in for Ms. Porter. Okay, first item is to receive personnel updates and workforce dashboard. Ms. Miranda Watson, HR Supervisor.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Our report is not that long. We just had a few changes from last month, and there was 2 terminations, and you'll see the effective date and positions. And we also had 1 resignation. Right now, our current staffing needs right now is a 5th grade ELA teacher, 8th grade math teacher, 1 custodian, and then we are advertising for the athletic director's position. As you look at the dashboard, I made a few notes. Some things didn't change. If you look at the action items, the CRDC report is near completion. The system went down, so they extended the deadline. So right now, my next steps is to certify and then run the audit report before I hit the submission button. We did finish the intent to return forms, and that's complete. Everything's been turned in. Our next steps for that is to start doing our staffing discussions for the 25-26 school year. And if you look at the top, you'll see the intent to return statistics. We had 120 responses. 117 said yes, they were coming back. We only had 1 person who said no, and that person is leaving education. We had 2 undecided, and we also had 2 that wanted to transfer to another school space. We are still working with the alternative certification program. Next week, we'll have an alternative certification meeting on the 18th. I've spoken with LRCE, and they're going to send a representative out to speak to our uncertified teachers. And then we'll also have our one-to-one meetings, which are educator support meetings. That is going to be done with the first week of April to provide them one-on-one support to get them ready for things that they can do over the summer to kind of move towards their certification. And we've already discussed staffing needs on the personnel report. Do you have any questions about any of this?
You getting any responses on athletics?
Yes, yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Several? Some?
We have about 4.
4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Out of
Literally, I just looked at my computer. I just saw those 2 dings.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, that concludes the personnel committee. Budget and finance will come to order.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Present.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Ms. Lolita Porter, Dr. Kelly Joseph,
Here.
Ms. Ashley Castle, Ms. Tracy Mack.
Okay, first item, receive and consider for approval request to advertise for new audit firm.
Yes, committee, I'm requesting that we advertise for a new external auditing firm. As you know, Bruno and Tervalon received a negative review from the legislative auditors. And so we went into an agreement with another firm this year to complete the audit. However, we need to go back out and look for another auditing firm that would be able to do all of the things that we need to have done within the audit. Honestly, I'm leery about the work that's currently being done now. I don't feel like it's going fast enough. We're coming to the end of the fiscal year and we still don't have an audit report. So I think it's best that we go and look for another auditing firm. That way we have enough time to review any applicants and make a really good decision for the next company. So I'm making that request that we go out and search for a new auditing firm.
Okay, can I get a motion? I don't see where we have any choice, right? We have to have the audit completed.
Also move.
Have a motion by Ms. Cheney. Second by Ms. Porter. Any other questions? Take a vote.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Yeah.
3-0 motion carried. Refer to the full board.
Okay, that concludes the budget and finance.
Mr. Travis, this is Chair, Ms. Bell, can you chair that committee?
Policy committee will come to order.
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Present.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph,
Here.
Mr. Alvin Travis absent, Ms. Bell Lucas.
Okay. First item, receive and consider for approval revisions to policy JHB Activities Fund Management.
Committee, I'm gonna ask that we look at both items collectively because it's all basically the same thing.
Okay.
So is that okay? All right, so I am currently reviewing all school activity accounts at each one of the schools, and also the policies that govern all of the work that the schools do regarding school activity accounts. And there are a couple of things that were discovered with the policies. The first, the policy JHB and also policy DK are basically identical, with the exception of some wording. So we need to just eliminate one, and I revised the other to include more specific language regarding restricted and non-restricted funds and its use, process for approval of expenditures, prohibited use of funds, incurring debt, and also establishment of a teacher courtesy fund. That specific language needed to be spelled out in the policy, and it was not. And so I'm requesting that we include that language to have a clearer understanding of how school activity accounts and funds should be utilized at the school sites.
Okay, so you want a motion to consider combining these with additional specific language?
Yes, we
In the
basically
rules.
need to eliminate one because they're
Eliminate.
basically the same.
Okay.
And then revise that one to include more specific language with regards to the things that I just listed.
Okay, so can I get a motion to eliminate one of these policies and combine them with additional language?
I so move.
Who moved that? Ms. Porter, okay, I have a motion by Ms. Joyce Porter, a second by Mr. Hughes.
Is Mr. Hughes on the committee? Mr. Hughes not on this committee.
Ms. Cheney, I'm sorry, Ms. Cheney. Second by Ms. Cheney. Any other questions on these policies? Okay, okay,
Ms. Virginia Bell?
yes.
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
3-0 motion carried, refer to the full board to vote.
Okay, that concludes policy. Oh, is he building and grounds too? Okay, building and grounds will come to order. Roll call?
Mr. Alvin Travis absent, Ms. Joyce Porter,
Present.
Mr. George Hughes,
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph.
Here.
Mr. Edward Goldman, absent. Ms. Bell Lucas.
Okay. Receive and consider for approval request to declare trailer at Shada football field surplus and no longer usable. I'm sorry, St. Helena College and Career Academy. Football field surplus no longer usable.
Yes, committee, if you recall, this is the trailer that was originally behind the high school back before 2011. It was moved to the stadium after we did all of the construction and renovations at the high school. It was moved to the stadium, and now it is in dilapidated conditions. It's more of a hazard now than it is a help for our players and our coaching staff. And it was recently vandalized because the doors don't even lock. So it's of no value to us, and it needs to be removed. So I'm asking that this trailer be declared surplus, and then someone can come and remove it where it's no cost to the district.
I so move.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any other questions on the surplus? Okay,
Ms. Virginia Bell?
yes.
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Yes.
Mr. George Hughes,
Yes.
3-0 motion carried, refer to the full board to vote.
That concludes building and grounds.
I need to add an item to the education committee. Ms. Jen. Calendar, 2025.
So who's the chair of the committee? Logan, so you wanna add an item to the education committee, we get into the 25-26 calendar year. So she needs to call the board.
Call the education committee into order.
Revision to the 25-26.
Ms. Olivia Porter. Ms. Virginia Bell.
Present?
Ms. Linda Cheney.
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph.
Here.
Ms. Leah Valdez.
Here.
Ms. Cynthia Brown. Here. Ms. Christy Nettles. Here. Dr. Joshua John Paul.
Here.
Ms. Singleton. Here. All members of the first.
First item is to revise, they want to add a revision for the 2025-2026 school calendar.
Yes. Education Committee, I do apologize. I needed to add this item to the agenda. I neglected to add it. It's in regard to the Mardi Gras holiday. We have the Mardi Gras holiday set for February 16th and 17th of 2026. And I'm asking that we add an additional date. So it would be the 16th through the 18th, which would make up 3 days for the Mardi Gras holiday. I'm asking to add this day because we find that on that Wednesday, we have a lot of teacher absences, and it's really hard to, maintain continuity at the schools when we have limited number of teachers. So I think that if we added that day, give the teachers and the kids an additional day for Mardi Gras, we'll have a better turnout on Thursday when they return. I do not want to go past 3 days. I just want it Monday, Tuesday, and that Wednesday, just for that reason. In doing so, we would still have $1,380 minutes embedded in the instructional minutes, which would equal to 3.29 days, same days in the calendar. So I'm asking that we add that additional day for the Mardi Gras holiday, which will be February 16th, 17th, and 18th.
I so move that we add the 18th.
Second?
Ms. Lolita Porter.
Yes.
Ms. Virginia Bell.
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney.
Yes.
3-0 motion carried. Refer to the full board to vote.
All right, that concludes our committee meeting. Right, the 6 o'clock properly, start our regular board meeting.
Pardon me.
Everything is done and done in the mind of our learners, Lord God. We pray for peace and unity, Lord, all throughout. These and all blessings, we ask in your darling Son, Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The meeting room will come to order. We are now holding a meeting of the St. Louis Parish School Board. Roll call.
Ms. Doris Porter,
Present.
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Present.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Mr. George Hughes, Ms. Virginia Bell,
Present.
Mr. Alton Travis.
Present.
All members are present.
Item C, approve minutes and agenda from February the 13th, 2025, committee meeting, February 13th, 2025, regular board meeting, and the current agenda. Can I get a motion to approve those collectively? Motion by Ms. Joyce Porter, second by Mr. George Hughes. Any questions? No questions? General consent. Item D, Director's Report.
We will begin with Dr. John Paul, Director of Academic Programs for Math and Science.
Good evening, board members. Ms. Singleton is passing out a one-pager of my update. I'm here to present the update about our department, Math and Science Department. Over the past several months, our team has been dedicated in enhancing the student work, student achievement, improving the teacher effectiveness, etc. Today, I would like to share some key accomplishments our department has done in the past few months. I would like to start off with benchmark data. As you look at the graph, the one that you have in your hand, the one on the left is the benchmark, second benchmark, which was recently conducted during the month of December. As we speak, this week they are taking the third benchmark. So the comparison shows, especially third to sixth grade, the first presentation shows you the difference between the first benchmark and second benchmark assessment index. And we can see that, there is an increase across the board. But the increase for the fourth and fifth grade needs some improvement. Can you go to the next slide? I'd like to give you some update about the science performance across the board, especially third to sixth grade. You can see there is a growth. The one on the left side with the blue bar is for the second benchmark. And even though we have seen the progress across the board, still there is a need for improvement, especially the third and fifth grade. Next, the math benchmark. So we also did some analysis comparing the benchmark versus the last year LEAP assessment index. Across the board, math has seen the significant growth. I would like to give you the reason later in the next successive slides. There's a huge growth, especially in third grade. We see the continuous trend across the board, and especially we could see that the instructional strategies that are applied in that classroom is very consistent throughout the year. So we see the same significant growth every year, especially in third grade. And also you can see sixth grade, there is a huge increase, but especially fourth and fifth grade, especially the fifth grade, there is a need for improvement. As far as the science, can you go to the next? Science benchmark and the LEAP 2024 comparison, you can see the third grade and fifth grade needs improvement, whereas fourth and sixth grade have shown some improvement. Still, there are a lot of areas to improve, and we are working closely along with the master teacher, Mr. Allen, to work with the teachers to ensure that they are implementing the strategies that we are giving through the cycles, observation cycles. As far as the high school math performance, we can see the eighth grade has shown the big improvement, given the geometry. But right now we have vacancies in those two areas, so that is a concern. But we are working with the principal, Ms. Butler, to ensure that those learners are receiving the support that they need in the next 5 weeks before the LEAP test. I will tell you the action steps in the next step. Sorry, next slide. So the overall insight. There is a significant gain across all grades, especially third, fourth, and sixth grade. Science, the growth is evident, but the third and fifth grade require focused support. So the several action steps we have taken in the past few months. One of the key steps is to analyze the end of mission assessment scores, which we started with ELC, to identify the gaps, and so we can provide the targeted support. And also during our cycle 2 support, we started the short leap-like assessment every Thursday, so that way we can identify the gaps and address the gaps. One of the action steps that we took was recognize the gains, and we started the new recognition program called ZERN Teacher of the Semester. As you see from the picture, Ms. Cossie and Ms. Wright from ELC and Ms. Davis from SHADA were recognized for having the high completion, ZERN completion throughout the semester. Another action step that we have been taking every week was giving the ZERN completion data to the principals so they can have a clear idea of how the learners are improving, making progress with the completion every week. And as you see in the last column, the mandated increase, the principals and the teachers are tasked with having that percentage every single week. So they will know where they are and where they need to head to. And we also give the action steps and the recommendations, the measures that they need to take every week to ensure that they are reaching the goal. The goal is to reach 80 to 85% completion every week. And we have seen a significant growth, especially at SHADA. So we are excited to see how it's going to make an impact on the LEAP test. So next one. So, and another big major step that we have taken is the observation cycle we started around the September or October of last year. So we have completed 4 cycles so far. You can see all the topics that we have covered so far. During the first week, we identify the gaps through the learning walks, and then second week we provide the PLC support, and third week we will be in the classroom to provide in-classroom support, and then we will analyze the data and repeat the cycle. That's it. Any questions?
Thank you, Dr. John Paul. Next, we'll have Ms. Christy Nettles, our Director of Academic Programs for ELA and Social Studies.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Joseph, directors. This evening, I am going to be presenting department data. I have some initiatives going on in my department, and I'm going to focus and share my information using those 3 important components in our district vision, which are learner success, educator effectiveness, and building public confidence. Not in that order. So can you go back to the first? Okay. Educator effectiveness. This is very important in our district. So I, along with Dr. John Paul, we're working on a teacher observation and support cycle. For ELA, it's a structured, continuous framework designed to build the capacity of our ELA teachers through professional development, classroom observation, feedback, and targeted support. We believe that this cycle will ensure growth and impact instructional practices. And there's 3 main components: planning, observing and feedback, and classroom support. Next slide. This is just a quick overview of what the action items look like each week, how we are supporting our ELA teachers throughout this cycle and this process. And I'm not going to read through every word, but I'm just going to give a quick overview. When we're planning, we have a professional development that's conducted here at central office. We deliver a comprehensive, focused training on curriculum implementation, strategies, and data analysis. Our week 2 is when that's myself and Mr. Lawrence, go into the classroom and we do classroom observations on the Tuesday, but we give that immediate feedback on that Thursday. So it's that same week they are provided that observation and feedback support. And week 3 is our support, classroom instruction. We also do what's called, during this week, called whisper coaching. It's just a subtle way during instruction for teachers to get that guidance. Like, instead of us saying, you are not supposed to do that. It's subtle. It's a subtle way to kind of, guide our teachers into the right direction for instruction. So my question was, is this cycle yielding positive results for learners? Because it's about our learners. How is this translating from what we're doing into the classroom to our learners. As a result of this targeted support cycle, teachers will improve in delivering evidence-based ELA instruction, and it effectively engages learners, which will result in improved literacy outcomes and in increased academic achievement. So with part one, our teachers are in a professional learning session that is then transferred their new learning into the classroom during instruction, which does yield, as you can see in the pictures, positive results for learners. But let's look at the data. We can look at pictures and say this is positive, but let's look at some data. So I am not going to say that just this cycle is making these improvements. I can say it's contributing to these possible small gains that we're seeing in the ELA classroom. Teacher 1, assessment 1, 2, and 3. This was before the cycle even began. The average of their class assessment was at 28%. At the very beginning of the cycle, the teacher score actually went up to 36%. Again, it's short, small gains, but it is gains. Towards the ending of this cycle, it was at 52%. So we're making those gains, again, not as fast as what we would like, but this cycle basically is providing teachers with actionable, targeted support to improve instruction, which does yield positive results for learners. And the second piece of data is another teacher that we're working with as well. That class average went from 32 to 44%. Our next component is our learner success. I am extremely pleased and excited to discuss and talk about our Amira tutor. She's an AI tutor. Our learners are actually tutored through Amira's Assess, Instruct, and Tutor. It's an AIT method. The AI tutor delivers tailored micro interventions and micro lessons to the learner as they read aloud passages into the program. It's wonderful to watch this program in action. And basically the students read aloud. The AI tutor detects any type of reading risk, sends an alert, they receive an intervention in the moment, and then they repeat using that intervention that was provided by that AI tutor. And again, it's not a quiet process because all the kids have on headsets and they're talking, and it's robust vocabulary going on in the classroom. You hear it, all the kids are talking into the computer, different passages at their grade level. So it's exciting. So let's look at some data. The goal for Amira is for each learner to have 30 minutes on this program a week. So we were able to receive through the State Department 303 licenses for our SHPSD school site. And for the ELC, we were able to receive 236 Amira licenses for free from a grant that was provided from the State Department. So we have a total number of K-6 learners is 539 learners. And this graph just shows over the weeks how at the beginning, again, it was just us beginning this process of how this tutor works. And we do see some steady growth. Learners are getting and hitting that goal of 30 plus minutes a week. And I don't know if you can see in the picture, but he has on headphones. This is this is part of the Amira tutor. And my last slide is basically us.
The microphone has a,
They talk into the microphone on the computer.
Okay.
Some of the teachers purchase their own with the microphone, but yeah, they just hear it. And what happens is, if sometimes some of the learners, they're not speaking loud enough into it, so the tutor doesn't hear her, and it alerts them. They have to speak a little louder. But they all
can hear her feedback on their
they can,
earphones.
yes. So it's pretty exciting. Okay. And our last component is building public confidence. When our learners win, our community wins. For our district social studies fair, we had 86 learners that participated at SHPSD and 55 learners that participated at the high school. This year, we did more of a project-based social studies project. That means they were given topics based upon the instruction that was going on for that unit in that classroom at that time. So as you can see, our fourth grade first place winner, and I expressed to them in passing, I said, oh, you can dress like your project to bring your project alive. I said it very, and she did. She definitely understood the assignment and dressed up, to bring her project alive. She did win first place, and we are, yes, this is Sparta. We are headed to the Regional Social Studies Fair on Wednesday. It's going to be 8 learners, and I'm excited for all of us to participate in that, and I will report the winners and updated benchmark data next month. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nubbs.
All right, moving along, superintendent's report.
Yes, good evening, board. Good evening, committee. I only have one thing that I want to present, and I'm going to put Ms. Singleton on the spot, where she spearheaded our re-accreditation process. So I'm going to ask Ms. Singleton to please come up and just explain what we went through and when we should receive the results of our re-accreditation. As you know, we went through our initial accreditation back in 2013, and we've been a district accredited organization since then. It was Advanced Ed at the time. It has now changed to Cognia. And so, Ms. Singleton, take it away.
So yes, we did on February 27th, we had our accreditation engagement review. It differed vastly from previous years. Previous years, they did a site-to-site visit. It was very, very robust. This year, it's more streamlined because the standards did change. So they streamlined the process to where everything is uploaded into a workspace. Our narratives about our engagement, our community supports, our academic supports, and then the actual review is just, it's not even an interview, it's just a hour-long meeting where you present an overview of what you put into the workspace, and our lead evaluator is Mr. Robert P. Coop, and he and the associate evaluator, Mr. Ryan Piper, they had a few questions about really heavy focus on financial literacy and just what we gained out of the process. And it was a long process for us, but the review itself seemed very short and we were prepared. And the team, so our team started in the fall with myself and the principals meeting weekly to gather the evidence, upload everything into the shared OneDrive folders. And then in November, I created an additional committee of administrators and teachers and district staff for our review team, where we went through the narratives and the full-on process. And so for the engagement review, it was myself, our district personnel, Dr. John Paul, Ms. Valdez, Ms. Watson, and our principals, and they did an outstanding job of answering those questions as well. And so we are really positive about what we presented and what we have provided to them, and we will know in June what our scores were, but they seem very impressed with everything that we talked about, everything that they'd seen from us thus far.
So I just want to take this opportunity to publicly thank Ms. Singleton and everyone else who worked to get all of those documents together. This is a 5-year, every 5 years we go into the review. So they had to collect 5 years worth of data and share that information with the team who came in to do the review. It is intense in that you have to make sure that your information that you provide tells a story of how you are progressing within the district. And so I believe that come June, we will be reaccredited without a doubt. So thank you, Ms. Singleton, and thank you everybody who did make this happen. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. All right, that concludes my report.
Item E, approved committee reports. March 13th, 2025. Can I get a motion? Motion by Ms. Joyce Porter, second by Mr. George Hughes. Any questions? No questions, shall pass by general consent. Item F, executive session.
I move we go into executive session.
Motion by Mr. Alton Travis, second by Ms. Joyce Porter. Any questions? No questions? We shall return.
Ooh. She meant to call it to order, didn't she?
We will now resume the
A
meeting
motion
of
that
the
we
St.
return
Helena
to-
Parish School Board. Motion that we return from executive session made by Ms.
Bell.
Virginia Bell and second by Ms. Joyce Porter. Any questions? No questions? Should pass by general consent. The two items that were on the agenda for executive session, there was no action taken up on those two items. So we're moving to action, item G, meeting closing. The next meeting date will be April the 10th, 2025. Committee meeting starting at 5:45, regular board meeting 6 o'clock. Closing comment, board members.
Yes, I have one. As you all know, down in the 5th District, we've had, in a matter of 3 to 4 weeks, we've had 5 murders, dead people, just in the 5th District. 3 stabbed, 1 shot, and 1 they found a couple of Saturdays ago. So I have gotten with my park board, and we're going to have a day of prayer for our parish, for our district, and for the entire parish. So it's the first Saturday of April. Please tell your ministers, I hope you all can come, but let your ministers know as well that they're welcome. We're inviting ministers from across the parish to come out, and let's pray for this parish, because that is absolutely obscene that 5 people, young men, all young men, are dead in a matter of 4 weeks. So if you all could contact your ministers and let them know about that. That's going to be at 10:30 in the morning on Saturday. That's April the 5th. I will be sending flyers, email flyers to everybody on the board here. I'll be sending you all flyers, and you can pass them on to people in the parish to let them know. Of course, this prayer is specifically, again, for St. Helena Parish, but as you all know, if you're watching the news, we should be praying for this whole country, as you can see what's going on here. So, but this is specifically for St. Helena, and we're asking that you participate, or ask your ministers, your pastors to participate. Thank you.
Any other comments? I would just like to say, as we slowly approach to the testing cycle, please remember to try to keep the kids the learners as calm as possible. So when they go in for testing, that they have a clear mind and a clear conscience about what they're doing. Because we definitely want to see St. rising. Okay? And I get that final comment. Any other comments? Oh, yeah.